Naeva, you perfect. So welcome everyone to April 28th. We are almost in May, guys. So we are the Million Mom Movement Council, and we are here for you all every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, talking about topics that we know are really affect us in our lives, and we hear from every single moms and families around us. So I'm Taz Ferreira. I've been part of the council for the past 3 years, and it's my mission to bring education about toxicity, about artificial foods, about artificial ingredients, and to build this community together. Because you know what, as moms especially, we think that we're alone whenever we're searching for ingredients, but we're not. So the more we are together, collective, the more we get to learn from each other. And you know what? I'm not alone in this mission. We are with all of you. And I am so proud to be with my amazing council members, Naeva Flory, who is in Hawaii, and Michelle Ricci, who's one of our newest council member. I believe she's back in Denver, right? From Ecuador. And then we have Carmela Velarde, who's back in Pennsylvania and will be doing a move soon. So this is so exciting how we're all shifting and making great things happening. So on today's call, we are going to be springing into action. So what does that mean? We are going to be talking about recipes and recipe books. So we've been hearing so much from our field that everyone is like, you know, we love juicing, we love having all of the superfoods, but we like reinventing it as well. And sometimes you don't want to be juicing and drinking the juice all the time. So we are showing you snacks and smoothies, desserts. I mean, there's other ways that you can reinvent our superfoods, because that's exactly what it is. It's food. And when we can make food functional and have it in our kids, I mean, that's when the magic really happens, right? And we have so many topics that we want to talk about today, but let's just get into the news. And Carmela is going to be talking about a topic that's happening today that we need to bring to your attention. The floor is yours, Carmela.
Thanks so much, Taz. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. Oh, so I'm so excited to launch this cookbook, guys. You have no idea. It's something that I know the field has been asking always, where are our recipes on our website? And how do we incorporate these superfoods so the kids will actually eat them and actually like them? Well, my son is turning 10 today, so I had a really fun
So is Carmela paused? Do we all see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're back.
I'm back. Okay. I was just saying it's my son's 10th birthday, and so I got to even work on some of these recipes and add them to my list on the menu for the birthday today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these two articles that I'm going to be sharing screen with. The first one I put in the chat, and it's about what does it mean to be vegan, vegetarian, or plant-based. So as we discuss this recipe book, we are MMM-ifying these recipes. So for instance, we knew that some of these recipes are excellent, people want to eat them, but we want to make them healthier. And it doesn't mean that we all are vegan necessarily on the council, much less in the entire community, but we're striving to become more plant-based. And what is the difference of vegan, vegetarian, plant-based? I knew when I first started with Purium, I had those questions. And so here's an article that's really helpful for new people that you're getting to acclimate to our lifestyle with superfoods, and just say, you know, it's your choice. We're not really telling you you have to go completely stark with animal product free, but it's very similar. They basically indicate refraining from consuming animals. There are many reasons why someone may choose to adopt any of these words to define their diet, lifestyle, or philosophy. And many of the reasons are animal welfare, personal health, environmental stewardship. And generally speaking, anything that is considered vegan is also vegetarian. But not everything that's vegetarian is vegan. So vegetarians consume products that come from animals, such as milk, eggs, and honey. Vegans, on the other hand, remove all animal products. And plant-based, the term plant-based is very literally literally describing someone who consumes only products that are fully or predominantly made from plants. Health benefits are the primary driver for those who adopt a plant-based diet or lifestyle. And it is generally accepted that a diet that prioritizes eating whole foods or foods with little to no processing is a healthier lifestyle choice. And when you reduce the animal products, there are many great documentaries that I'm going to cite. I'll put it into the chat too, but Cowspiracy, Forks Over Knives, Earthlings, What the Health, Game Changers, Vegucated, and Hungry for Change. So it's a long list, but we want to give you tools. And this article is a tool, but there are many great documentaries as well. But consider a positive change for your diet and take a moment to reflect on the current situation and where you might see change feasible. And so there's a second article that I wanted to share in the group chat. And here's a plant-based guide for beginners. So some of you might be coaching new people, and we want to merge them as to like, why is it that we want to eliminate more animal products? What is it? What is it that it really prevents, and what does it do? And I found that many of my coaching clients have moved into becoming full vegetarians or vegans after using the superfood lifestyle. So how it works is make plant-based foods the central part of meals. A plant-based diet emphasizes foods like fruits, veggies, beans, and limits foods like meats, dairies, and eggs. So if you're vegetarian, that is. And I like this article because it talks about the types of plant-based diets. So you could be a pesco-vegetarian besides a vegetarian vegan. There's a semi-vegetarian or flexitarian. There's an ovo-vegetarian, lacto-vegetarian, lacto-ovo-vegetarian. So this is talking about milk, eggs, lactose. So fish specifically. So there's a lot of different ways you can adopt a healthier way to eat and choose to eat food with food philosophy. So I'm going to put this into the group chat now and pass it back over. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Carmela. I mean, like, you start to realize how many different forms of vegetarian there is, right? So for like us, like vegans or plant-based lifestyle, I mean, we have to be very specific whenever we go somewhere. I know with my journey, I started 14 years ago, I started having this awareness of like the gelatin, right? Gelatin was in so many things. So, and then we found out that it's crushed up bones. It is something that we should be consuming. And then the red food coloring. I found out this was like crushed up beetles. And then we start understanding how the red food coloring actually contributes to ADHD. And it's actually like a neurotoxin. So, I mean, this is the education of this lifestyle. So you start seeing how these ingredients are in all of our food. So here we want to show you guys that just because if you decide to go, let's say vegan, that does not mean healthy, right? You need to look at your ingredients. And we are going to show you today how to look at ingredients and what to look for and what to replace. And with our Superfood company, we have ways and tricks to make it so simple for yourself. Because, you know, we're always busy and we're always on the go. So Naiva, would you like to share our recipe book? So we made a recipe book for all of you. So at first we launched the Satarad. Do you guys remember this? Drop me a 2 in a comment if you've been sharing Satarad. Have you been sharing it? Yes. Amazing. Okay, so the Satarad is a great first step. If you encounter a client that they want to know how to begin this lifestyle, and we have so many good, better, best, that is the first way to begin. Okay, and now they started their ultimate lifestyle transformation. They're starting their performance. They're starting their family nutrition. They need to know what are other ways. Where can you find it? Okay, can someone drop that in the chat? So this is a link that you can send to all of your clients. Okay, we have the good, better, best. And now we created another one that you can share with them once they're on this lifestyle and they want to become more creative with their families. Because we hear it all the time that people tell us, my child does not want to be drinking all the time. We hear you. We've been living it, and we want to make simple solutions for you. So let's start. So at the beginning, we have our sad to rad, and here is the link. And you can just simply click that and send it to them. And we've even made it as a flip book. So they can go through that, they can print it, they can do whatever they like with it and use it as a reference guide for themselves. And you know what? Pass it along, because we need to be growing this movement forward. And the only way to do it is through education and resources. And this is a great tool. So let's go to our next page. Okay, drinks. Okay, Apothecary Beauty Sleep Nightcap. So we want to show you a couple ingredients that we love and how to make it more nutritious. So with the Apothecary, you can add cranberry juice, apple cider vinegar. So why are we choosing these ingredients? So after a full day that you've eaten, having apple cider vinegar is great to decompress your immunity, to boost your immunity, to alkalize your body. And you have the aloe vera and the ionic elements. So you see, we're not having one ingredient by itself. We're showing you how you can combine them together. So the ionic elements, this is all your magnesium, which will help you go into a deeper sleep. So when you pair the ionic elements with the Apothecary, it actually acts like a catalyst to help you go into deep sleep faster. So we're showing you easy ways to have the best sleep of your life. So this is why we call this the Apothecary Beauty Sleep Nightcap. Okay, and then this is one of my favorites. Okay, so this is one I use with my family, hands down, each and every night, the Apothecary Jello Shots. So I don't have any gelatin because I am fully plant-based myself and my entire family. But we do use something called agar-agar, okay? So all you do, you take the Apothecary, you mix it with the agar-agar, any sweetener of your choice. Here we chose coconut nectar and maple syrup. So we're showing you little tricks that you can just make the sugar content healthier. Instead of using cane sugar, now let's up it with coconut nectar and maple syrup, because these have a high mineral content. And you add water, and you would set it the same way that you would do Jello. I would put it in little cups and give it to my kids, and it's always a hit. It's a hit with the kids, it's a hit with us. And it's functional foods, because now they're getting it into their bodies. They don't even realize the health benefits, and they love it, and they sleep amazing. But you know what's the best part? They wake up amazing. And I don't know about you mamas, but having your kids wake up refreshed is the most important thing ever, right? Okay, our next one, Be Green drinks. So when you're having the power shake, you don't just have to have the power shake by itself. You can mix it with other ingredients. So the appleberry power shake with a green spectrum, with the aloe digest, the chia seeds, bee pollen, and cold water. Okay, why I like this is this can actually become almost like a pudding when you add the chia seeds, right? So you can actually eat this and it becomes like a thick, delicious drink. And the green spectrum, this is high in folate. So you're getting all of your delicious nutrition. You have your carrot juice. I think this is one of Naiva's favorite. Naiva, do you want to talk about this?
Sure. Yeah, I really love this one because I used to always try to juice carrots, and living out in Hawaii, first of all, carrots are not something that's locally grown. So it's, coming across the ocean. It's not necessarily fresh or full of nutrients as we would like to think. And so what I love about our carrot juice powder is that it's dehydrated at the source, and it actually maintains as much of the nutritional value as possible. So mixing the carrot juice powder is also quite efficient on the time, the cost, and all the other aspects to juicing. And so I'm able to just mix the carrot juice powder with a little bit of orange juice and water, And then you can also add the cocoa hydrate that sweetens it up a little bit more, and ginger powder, because I've always loved carrot, ginger, orange together. And then that cocoa hydrate just gives it additional nutrients. You're getting all the anti-inflammatory properties, all the hydration properties, and it's just a really like great pick-me-up drink. Super tasty and delicious. So I love this blend for sure.
And I forgot to mention that all of these ingredients, try to go as organic as you can, right? We're trying to give you options here. If you can't find an ingredient that's organic, do the best you can. But we suggest organic as possible. And then in this one, our coffee shake, we have a coffee, an organic coffee, and a Purium Tropic Oil. So the Purium Tropic Oil has been discontinued. It is in the Candida pack, but you can also look at any raw coconut oil that you can add to this. And this is going to make it thick and creamy and delicious. I know what's really important here is that our coffee protein contains no heavy metals and no glyphosate. And we have an Epigenius S'mores Shape. I mean, how delicious does it sound? What child would ever refuse this? And I mean, they are getting all of their fruits and veggies and gut repair in this one drink. They would not even know. You can have sleepovers. You can have a bonfire. You can go to the beach and bring this with you. So dark chocolate, maple syrup, or agave water, the Epigenius family. Use any plant-based milk that you like. So when you're choosing a plant-based milk, what I always recommend is to look for milk that does not contain any seed oils, because seed oils are very inflammatory. So we want to try to cut back on the inflammation as much as possible. And you can add some chocolate cubes. Chocolate sauce, which I love using raw cacao, ice cubes, and then you can top it with an organic graham cracker and dark chocolate. Any of you ladies want to talk about this one?
I'll go ahead. So lemon cherry hydrator is a great sports drink. We often get asked, about sports drinks. What can we give our kids or ourselves when we're working out? And so this is really great for hydration, and also can give you a little pick-me-up and relieve some of the inflammation in your muscles. Because we all know that apothecary helps with inflammation. It also helps with deep sleep, but you don't necessarily have to take it before bed to have the properties of melatonin in it. So any time of the day that you take apothecary, when you go to sleep, you will get that deep sleep effect from the apothecary, but it is also anti-inflammatory. So as something that you want to take post-workout, pre-workout, it can help with the inflammation caused by heavy workout. And then the white American ginseng is a great energizer. So this can really help energize you, pre-workout. And then the ionic elements, again, so good for your muscles, all those minerals, right? A lot of times when we sweat, we're depleting minerals. So when you have those ionic elements, you can replenish your minerals. This is a really great blend, and you can always choose to mix it up however you want. We're just giving you some ideas so you can see that you don't have to just have the superfoods on their own as a single thing. You can actually mix them and make some really fun blends. I love making lemonade with apothecary and white American ginseng ionic elements. Sometimes I even add the aloe concentrate. So that would be something that I personally do as an add-on to this particular recipe.
And whenever I make these drinks, my kids are always like, and even the moms and dads around me, they're like, how do you have so much energy? And I'm like, well, these superfoods are actually making me a superhuman, right? Whenever you combine them together, it amplifies everything that your body needs. Like the white American ginseng, it lowers your stress, it helps your thyroid, you're getting all your mineral depletion. And this is how we become as a depleted society, because our body needs these minerals. So once you start combining them together and you give your body what it truly needs, you start feeling amazing. You start radiating this. And I would love for all of you to, in the comments, to write and to let us know which ingredients, which recipes you have been experimenting with, which ones you love. If you have your own, send it in to us, because we are still making this recipe book available to all of you, and let us know which one you've been using. So I don't know if you guys know that we actually have a whole CBD line. Do you guys know about this? Drop a 4 if you have been using our CBD. Me too. I'm just going to be holding up 4s. And our CBD contains no THC. And it's one of the highest amount of CBD. And you can mix it in everything. And this is a great recipe that we have to mix it in tea. So it's the mandarin mint CBD infused tea. So imagine having this delicious drink after the end of the day. All you do is you boil water, you add some mint leaves, cinnamon stick. Naiva, I think this is one of your favorites, right?
Yeah, I love this one. It's such a great one to have just to get into a relaxed state of mind. You know, orange just really enhances your mood overall. Have you ever been in a bad mood and you open an orange, or maybe you have orange essential oil? It just really uplifts your mood. And then along with the CBD oil, it's just really relaxing state of mind. So if you're ever really stressed out, or you're just needing something to just, you know, unwind, this is a really great, I like to have it in the evening personally. But of course you can have it any time of the day. And it's just something that's great to introduce, you know, introduce CBD into your lifestyle. Sometimes you can just have CBD under your tongue, but it's also fun to mix it in with other recipes. So we really wanted to highlight how can you incorporate this in a fun recipe that is super easy. I personally love drinking tea. And so mixing it into a tea just brings it to a whole new level. I've definitely had some friends, you know, they don't necessarily like the flavor of CBD, or sometimes if we're going to share it with our kids for various reasons, they don't always like the flavor of CBD. So mixing it in with a tea, the cinnamon tastes so good and the mandarin is delicious. So it just really gives it a yummy minty orange CBD drink that is really refreshing and relaxing.
And I know we have a great question in the chat asking about our CBD. Can you heat it? Well, in this tea, you're not actually boiling it. You just boil the water and then you would spray the CBD in the tea. So that will be absolutely okay. Anyone of my council members will have to speak about this one?
Yeah, I love how it soothes digestion. I mean, I love mint after a meal anyway, but it helps my clients with IBS symptoms, and it reduces caffeine intake. So for those of you who are trying to cut back on caffeine or just lessening it, even for the morning, it's nice to just like soothe anxiety, have a mint tea instead of a coffee. But with the CBD, you're getting this overall, the endocannabinoid system, it gets really nourished first thing in the morning. I like that too. But with Chinese medicine, which is, you know, the background I'd come from, when you look at the formula here, mandarins always come at the end of a formula to help bring everything together. So this is an extremely soothing way to end the meal, if you want to end a meal or start the day. And I love our CBD so much. I have it always right by me here. I take it when I travel. And people don't think to put it into food, but you can absolutely put it into like pretty much anything you consume or eat. And yes, you would want to lessen the heating. What's next?
You want to talk about this one, Carmela?
Sure, let's take a look. Okay, vanilla cashew milk, dark chocolate almond milk. So this is my brain. I always read the ingredients and then I imagine. The MVP Kids is fantastic. If you've never tried this, it's, I think, one of the best tasting chocolate shakes that we have in our line. And it is very focused to be friendly for the palate. And it has all plant-based vegan protein, but it is 100% vitamin D as well. So for kids, especially as they're growing, this is something that we want to support them with. And instead of taking it through, you know, isolated nutrients like vitamins, you really want it through whole foods. And then look, you've got the power shake. So you've got, oh my goodness, I could taste it. Like as I read it, cashew milk's just delicious in itself. It's very nourishing. But then you got the dark chocolate almond milk. Maybe you may not be able to find that, but you could do almond milk and add in cacao. But really, this is a packed shake because you've got the power shake, which has a little of everything. your body needs. It literally has healthy fats through omegas. It has the minerals through the greens, the many greens that it combines. And then you've got the protein, a little bit of protein, but then you add the vegan protein. So I've not tried this particular shake, but that sounds like a winner. I'd be happy to make it for my kids.
So it's funny that this says for a kid shake, but I actually have a lot of bodybuilders who do this exact combination. When they add the power shake with the MVP family,
Yeah.
they tell me that it tastes like the most delicious chocolate. It brings out the chocolate, the power shake with the cashew milk. So try it, and it's so good for you. And you never realize how amazing our MVP family is until you try it and you mix it with other things.
I remember Jodie Parker saying it tastes like hot chocolate. Like really, the one you'd buy, the Swiss Miss that has a bunch of junk in it and terrible ingredients. But this is comparable, and it tastes without having to compromise the quality and integrity.
Absolutely. So in the chat, we had a question about the kamut and chlorella. So kamut and chlorella, I actually will not heat. You can add it to like maybe a whipped coconut cream or coconut butter and use it on the top of cookies or something, but I would not actually heat those up. Does anyone in my council member want to talk about the sensory shake?
Well, I'd worked with the autism community for 3 years. So I kind of was in their homes. I was cleaning out their cabinets. And I mean, the fulvic zeolite, when you add this in, it really supports many with the detoxification process. And we know that when you have some sort of special needs or spectrum cases, detoxification is at the top of the list of support that we need. So adding this into any shake for those who have more of a sensory issue, it is beneficial. But look, it's packed. You've got rice cauliflower, which is amazing. I like to highlight, when I look at recipes, I always look at the odd ones and sort of imagine how that might make things more smooth, because it doesn't really have a strong flavor. The mixed berries, that brings in that really strong alkalization and whole food nutrition. The banana smooths everything out and makes it sweeter, and also gives it more fiber, like a thickness to it. The milk, MVP family chocolate. So MVP family, if you put it into anything, it really makes everything taste better. And it's not predominant. So for instance, if you had a banana in it, you taste the banana with it. It's delicious. But with the chlorella, so whenever I recommend people take zeolite, I was just telling people this, Taz, on our Utah trip, because I was giving it to everyone, was you have to chase it with a deep green. And I remember Dave talking about this, and it's so important. You have to support it to usher out of the tract through a green shake. So the fulvic zeolite, you could take it up to 3 times a day, 2 drops under your sublingually, but then chase it with, if you don't have a shake, you could take the chlorella tabs. But with this, you're doing it all at once. So eat your medicine, right?
Love that.
Wow,
So
you've got to talk about this.
I mean, I just must. Okay, so in the summertime, I love making sangria, okay? But I don't drink anymore. So what's the best thing that I can make? I can make our Superfood Sangria. And I'm telling you, this has been a hit with all of my parties, and no one even realized it does not contain alcohol. It tastes so delicious and nothing is missed. So what you do, you add some biofruit, aloe digest, can't beat this, and apothecary. Then you can cut up any fruits, add some frozen cherries, add some oranges, and you make it into this delicious drink. Add some ice as well. And no one has any idea how much nutrition you are actually putting into your body. And it's this delicious red color that, you eat with your eyes. Once it looks pretty and it looks great, and all you need to do is get a wine glass and pour it in, you've got yourself a knockout star. How are my council members on this?
Yeah, this looks like a good one. I don't generally do the MVP sport because I have my favorites and vanilla isn't one of them, but this looks absolutely delicious. And it's so simple, really. A lot of people will add a little bit of avocado, especially if they're looking for some more healthy fats with the sports. And maybe Carmela and Naiva have something to chime in on this one.
I do. You know what first came to mind, Michelle, was not everybody loves everything. It's really try and sample and see for yourself. But for me, like I was on a hunt for a good vanilla protein for my whole family because some don't like chocolate. And I really don't like a lot of the vanilla proteins on the market. I don't know if you guys have been out there and tried it, but they taste terrible in products or just solo. But ours, like I love when I'm out in a healthy happy hour with moms and I grab a spoon and I just say, taste this. They're like, alone? And I said, yeah, just the powder alone, just taste it. Because there's a certain like way we blend it where it literally, it melts in your mouth. There's no strong residue, no aftertaste. It really tastes true to what it is. And I love our vanilla. Out of the, there's vanilla chai. This is a true vanilla. So this can go in anything and everything. It practically goes into almost every shake I make at the end of the day for my kids at dinner. I'll always put a base of it. So yeah, and then when you put nut butter, it just amps up, the healthy fats, the also protein. But these are just ideas, of course. How do you make everything healthy? How do you have superfoods every single day? Well, my family always has a smoothie for every dinner. They're spoiled like that. That's also the dessert. So they're full. And I love that. They don't ask for more unless maybe a piece of fruit. They just feel like something juicy, but otherwise they're pretty satiated after a meal with a true smoothie.
And I know in the chat, we have so many people asking, how do we get this book? How do we get it? Okay, so we will be releasing it by next week. We're going through each category. We're doing appetizers, entrees, snacks, desserts. We're doing a lot of recipes that we're bringing to you. So by next week, we should have it ready to be released.
Wonderful. And I just wanted to add on to this particular recipe is that this is a really great base for any of the protein powders. If you don't like the vanilla, you could mix the MVP chocolate, or you could do the vanilla chai love, or any of them really. Even if you want to do the coffee protein, we have a matcha protein. We have so many different options that you can try and add in to this particular recipe, because with the nut milk and the nut butter, it just enhances the protein content and the flavor. So depending obviously on the nut butter that you use, it will just enhance the flavors of the protein powder that you choose to mix with this recipe. This recipe obviously was with the MVP vanilla, but you could try any of the protein powders with these other ingredients and try the different variations, because I assure you they're all going to be delicious and have a really creamy texture and taste really, really yummy. I'm sure anybody can, you can play around with the flavors to find what works best for you.
I love making nice cream with our blends. There's so many different flavors and it's super easy. You just need some frozen berries or some frozen bananas. I love to peel my bananas and cut them into medallions and put them in the freezer that way, because then you could just grab a handful that you want. And then with just a little bit of coconut cream or coconut water, you can add it to desired stiffness and thickness, and it's delicious. This one happens to be with a little bit of peanut butter and a little bit of maple syrup, which is divine. Oftentimes in the evening, I'll have a light dinner, and then I always have my evening shake because I like to bookend my sleep with the nutrients so that I'm truly resting instead of digesting through the night. And often in the evenings, I'll either mix something like this, but I definitely always do the bananas with the Apigenus family, and then I either mix it with the pumpkin spice if I still have some around. I like to order extra bags of that. Or I do it with the dark berry protein, and any of those can stand alone as well. Some people like to add frozen blueberries, but we have the best nice cream. I mean, there's so many different flavors. I haven't tried the chunky monkey yet. Have any of you ladies? And I like to drizzle with the cherry sauce at the end. It's just a nice finish instead of that chocolate sauce.
I like the idea of just putting nuts and dark chocolate chips in it. You know, that's why I had to try this when I saw this on our menu in our recipe book. And my kids loved it. I mean, the texture of this, plus guys, organic coconut cream is really sweet. It's on its own. The banana is sweet. Like, this is a win because you get a really nice blend of the peanut butter with the bananas and coconut cream. And then the texture of the nuts. You could put pecans too. I love pecans. But yeah, it rivals ice cream's flavor because the ingredients are so good.
Absolutely.
The beauty of it is you can just add a little bit more of the coconut water and have a delicious shake if you don't want ice cream. Sorry to cut you off, Neva.
Yeah, so I actually created this recipe and it was one of our family favorites, which is why I added it into the recipe book. Even though it didn't highlight any Purium products, it's still a way to lean into healthier options. We love Chunky Monkey, Ben and Jerry's ice cream, which is not the best. It has dairy in it, and we've recently found that, you know, they don't use the best ingredients. And so I wanted to create something that was healthy and equally tasty. And so the bananas, if you have frozen bananas and you blend them, then it really creates that thickness that you want for an ice cream. And then with coconut cream, the tip that I'd like to share, and I put it in the directions, is that if you put a can of coconut cream in the fridge overnight, the water and the coconut cream separates. And so then when you open the can, you can just scoop the top half, which is thick cream, and so you're not using the entire can of coconut cream, which you can also do, but then you're going to have that coconut water in there as well. And if you put it in the fridge and have it separate, you're literally just using the thick, it's like whipped cream. And so when you mix that with the bananas, it gives it this really creamy, thick texture. And then with the additional, you just sweeten it to taste a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of peanut butter to give it the peanut butter flavor that we're looking for. And then I always top it with walnuts and chocolate chips to really give it that chunky monkey feel. And it's just a way healthier version, and it's equally tasty. And what I love about this is that even when you freeze it, because the coconut cream has the oils in it, you can still scoop the ice cream. Whereas if you just had frozen bananas that you then froze, the water in the bananas really freezes hard like an ice cube. And it's harder to do that nice ice cream scoop. And so this one I had just freshly made it in the Vitamix and poured it and, you know, took this picture. But if you wanted to refreeze it and then take scoops, it would actually make really beautiful scoops that you could put on an ice cream cone or in a bowl. And then adding the walnuts and the chocolate chips on top is how I like to do it for each serving. So those are my fun tips for this recipe.
Next, one of my favorites. Let's get to it. Superfood Crunch Bar. Oh yes, I remember this. So this was developed by Jody with the chia seeds and the hemp seeds and the sunflower seeds, the shredded coconut, the brown rice crisp. So the company that we like is 1 Degree Organic. They have a glyphosate-free and organic like Rice Krispies. And you can add a green spectrum. And the green spectrum, when you have it to all of these ingredients, you don't even taste it. All you taste is chocolatey goodness. And then you add the raw honey, the blanched up molasses, any coconut oil. As we mentioned to you, the tropic oil has been discontinued. So just replace wherever you see the tropic oil with coconut oil. And then you just layer that. You lay it flat. You put it in the freezer. This is a raw dessert, okay? And it becomes frozen. And then on the top, the chocolate shell, you get any cacao, okay? You can even use our MVP family for this. And you can add some more coconut oil. Oh, they have it there, the MVP family, add more cacao, mix that up and layer it on the top. It's the most delicious chocolate bar. Any one of you want to talk about this one? And has anyone tried these recipes? Because we would love to know if you guys have tried these recipes and did you change it? Did you make it more your own? We would love to know.
Now, this is a fall favorite because, of course, we're wanting to use our pumpkin blend, but of course, we have here just the vanilla. So when you look at these ingredients, you think this is food. You know, this is food, this is nourishing. This is what our body actually craves for. A lot of the warming things like the ginger, clove, allspice, combined with the pumpkin, which is so nourishing and deep in the root, like the root veg. But then the barley green juice, oh my goodness, and the kamut. So you could put it together or not. Barley green juice is just great to have every day. If you've never tried this particular green shake, alone, try it alone, smell it, see how it fits in food, but it's very easily and palatable for kids because it's not a strong green like the others like Chlorella or spirulina. But you've got the daily fiber blend. I find that when you do a scoop of this in any of the baked goods, it really does help bring the texture up, like the yeastiness that's not here. It makes it less of a block of a bread. And really look at the sweetener. We've only got dates and maple syrup. That's incredible. And the dates, whenever you do replace it for other sugars that you are using, it's such a great addition because not only does it bring fiber, it brings the sweetness. And we all need both. And the sunflower seeds, really great to have like raw nuts in if this agrees with you. Yeah, but I've tried this. So I was looking for pumpkin. This is maybe a couple years ago during Thanksgiving, and I tried this for the first time. And all of these ingredients, when you play with them and experiment with them, you really start to find your, your own right amount.
I love that. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, cherry chia balls. Okay, do you remember last Diamond Club? We created this. So who is going to Diamond Club this year? We're all going there. Okay, drop a 5 and let me know if I will be seeing you at Diamond Club this year. So last year at Diamond Club, we actually created this and it was a huge hit. Everyone loved it. Which one of my council members would love to share about this?
Yeah, there's quite a few recipes coming up in this next section, which we can kind of cruise through, but there are so many recipes like this one and the Power Shake popcorn. They were all such a big hit. It's so simple. And I love the idea of having these for events and mixers and just being able to bring different things to the way we gather and the way we help other people view how we gather. And so maybe even Naeva can kind of flip through a couple of these next ones, because I know you hear us every week talk about the different bars and the different granola that are have heavy amounts of glyphosate still, even though they're great companies. And so these are great alternatives that you can make at home. You guys, it's so easy. And Million Mom Movement came out last year before I was a council member and really supported at the Diamond Club and had all of these fantastic recipes. But these are great solutions to reaching for those bars. Yeah, it might just take a half a day's worth of prep, but then you have a whole month or so worth of different things that you can put in the freezer. And look at who doesn't love, who hasn't been looking for an alternative to like a Reese's peanut butter cup. These sun butter bites look amazing, and ginger snap cookies. And in next week's half, we're going to be doing talking about the hummus that Million Mom did at the Diamond Club last year. So look at key lime pie balls. Oh my gosh.
Those are my favorite. So
tell me about those.
If you've never tried them, they're kind of like a newer addition just this past year, but I tried this summer and I made it up. When I look at an ingredient, what do you have? The dates.
I have the dates right here.
Yeah. So you want to find recipes, but then you make it verified. You look at the ingredients and see what can I change out. But really, guys, try this one. I highly recommend it. It's so delicious because you've gotten like the rind and the juice of the lime. So it really punches through with the protein of the vanilla sport, the tropic oil, well, coconut oil, the daily fiber. So great. And it's nourishing. Like one little ball keeps you really satiated and filled, but not one person I've sampled this with has not been shocked at the flavor.
It's kind of a new spin on the bliss ball. So are these matcha balls. You guys remember, has anybody ever heard of a bliss ball? Same kind of philosophy here, but with really upgraded ingredients, I would say.
I know what I love about these is when you pick up your kids from school, they're always starving. Okay. As moms, we know our kids, it's like they have not eaten the entire day. How easy is it for us to make this for them? That's super simple, so nutrient dense, and now they can be completely satisfied. And they don't even know they're having all of these superfoods together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about raw cookies? We're talking about not heating the superfoods. And just remember, these foods have been highly controlled. I mean, we maintain, your owners here maintain a large percentage of this company so that we can keep going with the standards that they've set forward. So making a raw cookie and not heating our superfoods past 85 degrees, always a great idea, not dumbing down what they've created, but of course it's okay to add a scoop here and there and add that fluffiness and that flavor and that richness to your recipes. So don't be afraid. As a general rule, when you're taking your rounds of daily nutrition, don't add too much to it. Try and drink them whole and good like they are. And when you're cooking with them, it's okay to add. That's what I would say as a rule. And what Taz was saying about the greens, and Taz, I imagine is because those are really high nutrient density. Is that why you are saying those two in particular maybe don't heat or cook with?
Exactly, because you don't want to denature it at all, right? But there's so many ways. We have so many raw cookies, so many raw chocolate chips. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to incorporate these foods and not heat them, and they taste like the most delicious snack. So I would love to know if you guys have any suggestions, any recipes that you've been using in your household with your family. Raise your hand. I'll unmute you, and I would love to hear from the field. I see you, Allison.
Looks like Kathy has one too. I'm asking Kathy to unmute.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Thank you. I love this call, and I love, the recipes. Taz showed us the really simple one years ago, and it changed, we make it all the time. The MVP family with applesauce. So simple, 2 ingredients. My kids make it. It's so easy. And another thing we do is we add it to our pancakes. So some of you have seen on Kind Human Kitchen, we do those rainbow pancakes. It is so much fun, and people are already, you talk about denaturing, but people are adding fruits into their pancakes, which, are denatured. So it's like sometimes even just as a food coloring, sometimes it's okay because it's adding a little bit of nutrition, even if we're killing some of it, and it's just so much better than food coloring, which we used to use before. So I think it's all win. There's just, my kids make the shakes, they get to get creative with it. And I love that empowerment for them.
Thank you. I love that share. Our kids, like us, eat with their eyes first.
Yeah, thank you, Allison, for always sharing your family and cooking and the yummy vegan and raw stuff you cook and make even in your oven. We're following and we love it. We love it so much.
So who's the next person that we had with their hands up? Sorry. Was it Crystal? I don't see you, Crystal. There you are. You're unmuted, Crystal.
Hello, everyone. It's first time talking here. I actually did my launch party, and I actually made a good couple of the recipes that you guys just showed, and they were a huge hit, especially the Power Shake popcorn with the kids. The kids absolutely devoured everything. But I usually make a chocolate cake, a regular chocolate cake, and I just ended up swapping out the cocoa powder with the MVP, the kids chocolate MVP, and with the Epigenius. and the kids like completely devoured everything. So it was a huge hit, and my sponsor even said that they would like me to turn it in. So I was just wondering how I could do that.
Oh, turn in the recipe?
Yes.
Yeah, yep. Just send it to any one of the council members along with a photo, and we'll see if we can get it into the book before we launch it. That'd be great.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
No,
And
thank
you know,
you.
to the point of the power shake, kids will actually just cut up apples and dip it right into the, have you ever seen the dipping things that like you can buy the cut apples and they dip it into some sugar or something? Try it with the appleberry power shake. Kids absolutely love it. So it's a simple thing you can sprinkle on so many things to give it color and punch and sweetness. So awesome job.
Perfect. Kyra, did you go? I don't see her anymore. Okay. Layla.
Can you hear me?
Hi, everyone. Okay. Oh, do you want to go first?
Here, one thing, so I've been actually doing like regenerative juices at different pop-ups and like let's just say like nighttime events and stuff. And one that's been a really good one that people have really enjoyed, I call it the gut ready shot. So it's actually aloe digest. It is was it cocoa hydrate, and then I also add homemade rose water to it. So it's just like an easy, fun, just kind of like nourishing, open your heart. I'm really sharing that one because it's literally like one of the #1 like sellers. People come for like real, like they take one and they come back after having like more and more and more. And it also helps people be able to wake up and feel nourished. So even if they're like not necessarily not drinking or consuming other things, they can find themselves when they wake up that their gut is actually feeling a lot better than if they were not to have it. So I just wanted to share like a little.
Sounds delicious.
Thank you.
Okay, Layla.
Thank you. Okay, I just had a quick add on here and it's so easy. And you guys mentioned a really lovely CBD tea, but just because it's worked so well for my daughter, who used to have the hardest time falling asleep and didn't like the cherry juice like just with water. And I tried it with sparkling water, which sometimes she likes that a little better. But I like to make tea for my kids in the evening. And I realized it's just delicious. You can add the cherry. Just for the kids, I only do 1 tablespoon, and I do sweeten their tea a little bit with agave. But so like an herbal tea, a little sweetener, and a spoonful of cherry. And man, my kids like go to sleep so much easier now. It used to be like this whole long hour process, and now they kind of, zonk out. So that's one thing. And then also, I think you guys have mentioned this before, but didn't today. So I wanted to add that I love to blend everything from juice bar in a bag, and it actually tastes like fruit punch. And then in the summer, I'll make popsicles with that. So that's a good one for kids too. It's like 6 different things. I definitely notice I'll add a little bit more of the cocoa hydrate to sweeten it just a little bit more, and then freeze them and make your own popsicles. So just wanted to add that.
Layla.
Thanks for this
That's
call.
awesome.
I love
Awesome.
that. Thank you so much.
So
So
we do
let's
bomb pops here where you can freeze them in different colors, our juice bar in a bag, and it's delicious. Yeah. Sorry, Taz.
I love how creative our field is, and being creative and sharing these ideas together. You know what happens? We get to bring it to our families, and we get to try it, and we get to experience this deliciousness. So we want to highlight some companies as well, right? And do the pledge. So I'll pass it on to you, Naiva.
Wonderful. Thank you. Leela, since you were on last, do you want to read the pledge, and then we will go to our call to action?
Chew and swallow.
Sure. I'm chewing, sorry. Okay. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so much.
asking me.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So we've been doing a call to action for a while now. And our call to action stems from a call that we had with Henry Rollins, who started the detoxproject.org. So you can go here and find out more information, and you can go to reports and find this entire article that has all these different foods that contain glyphosate. And now we're actually moved on to the foods that do not contain glyphosate. So above this list, you'll see a whole list of foods that you may or may not have in your cupboards. And just go through the list. You can still do a call to action on any of the products that we've previously called out, and just let them know that you're concerned, especially if you're currently using some of these. I'm going to go up just a little bit and show you if you've currently used any, like I know Nature Valley, we've often, like in the past, thought they were great, got them for our kids' snacks at school, and then found out they have 20 parts per billion of glyphosate. Same with, I know people that use Vega protein powders, and they aren't aware that there's 54 points of glyphosate in that product. And so if you know people that are using these products, or maybe you have some of these products in your own home, Bob's Red Mill red lentils, for example, that's something that I thought was a good brand in the past, but I've learned that it's not the best brand. So you can go through this list and you can still call out these companies. And what we're doing is we're going to Instagram and we're asking these companies to please be aware of the ingredients that are using glyphosate and remove those ingredients. And now we've called all of them out. So we've moved on to the list of products that are non-detect of glyphosate. And this week we're calling out Larabar and thanking them for being non-GMO and non-detect of glyphosate. So if you would all please pull out your phones and go to Larabar on Instagram. And here we're going to go down a few posts down. There is this beautiful post with 4 different colored boxes of their different varieties of Larabars. I love Larabars, super simple ingredients. They're super tasty and they're just simple. So now that we're thanking companies for doing their homework, the message is it has been brought to our attention that Larabar lemon fruit nut bar, as well as Larabar gluten-free peanut butter, has no glyphosate detected per the Detox Project report. And the article is Poison in Our Daily Bread. These snack bars do not contain the toxic herbicide glyphosate. We have been reaching out to companies to address this issue, and as a group of concerned parents with the Million Mom Movement, we would like to thank you. So whether you're calling out Larabar today, we're thanking them, but in the past, we've went through the different companies that did have glyphosate in them and let them know that we were concerned as family members, as moms, as caregivers, that we don't want to be feeding our families foods that contain glyphosate. And so if you want to go through that list on your own, if you've never called them out before, just go to their various Instagram pages, let them know that you're concerned. You can tag the Million Mom Movement. And to take it a step further, if you want to take a screenshot of your post and share it in your stories on Instagram and tag the Million Mom Movement, we can also share that through our stories and just keep moving this movement forward. So sending it back to you, Tess.
Thank you so much. So Michelle, can you close us out?
I can. Naiva, would you please pull up all of our places where you can find us? So we're so happy to be here with you, and we have so many ways for you to stay connected with us. So please join our Facebook page, the Million Mom Movement Official, and you can like us at the Million Mom Movement, but the Million Mom Movement Official will have some great insights. You can ask questions there. You'll have the greater community. You'll find our replays. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll be able to tag us. You can use those tags and widen your reach. We love to highlight you and see all of the reels and the stories that you make. And so please follow, like us, and tag us there. Twitter, we're at the Million Mom Movement, and we have the amazing YouTube channel where you can find the past couple of years of all of the replays and all of the wonderful, wonderful interviews that we have done. So remember, hashtag I am the Million Mom Movement, hashtag Million Mom Movement, hashtag we are the Million Mom Movement. Don't forget that we're still looking for submissions of your kids and your families talking about their favorite superfoods or why they love to live a happy and healthy lifestyle with these superfoods. And we're going to be redoing our video. So don't forget to tag us there and about your submissions. So thanks everyone for joining us, and excellent call. We look forward to next week where we're going to be bringing you the second half of the cookbook and launching the whole thing all together. It looks like Karen might have